guys and gals, DJBTM here. Welcome back to the Dubya show number 4. This is a weekly technology webcast that we do, where we just kind of talk about everything that's kind of happened. I don't have any guests this week again because nobody was able to come out and do it. So we're going to do it all by ourselves again, which is fine by me. Hopefully you guys are okay with that. But we're going to get it started. Like I said, it's the weekly webcast. We do it on Wednesdays, generally the weekly Wednesday webcast. That's why we're calling it the W. I like the name of it, and I think you guys do too. So let's get into our first topic today. It's kind of, it's not really too much like last week. Last week was a lot of wearables. Everything was like Android watches and iWatches and blah, 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 and Sony Eye stuff. It was all wearables last week. Today is a lot of different things, which is kind of nice. So we're going to start with the first one. AT&T wants you to pay for your privacy. I'm glad I'm not an American, but I'm not glad I'm not an American, if that makes sense. I am, but I'm not. I kind of wish I had part of this for some of these things. But AT&T, an ISP, I believe they also do cell phones in the States, ISP, internet service provider, they now want you to pay for your privacy. This is coming out, and they're saying it's only going to be an extra $29.99 a month, or whatever it is, $30 a month. That's ridiculous. AT&T has announced that they are bringing a fiber optic network to Kansas City. I believe Kansas has full fiber. I know Google implemented it, so I'm assuming that they have something on there. So they're going to charge, what does it say, $70 a month for high-speed connection, but which is about 1 per second, one up, one down. But their thing is, we get to track whatever you do. That's really shady. That seems like just a money ploy. Like, hey, by the way, we're gonna track whatever you do if you pay $70, but if you pay $100 a month, we won't track anything you do. I don't know how I feel about that. That's definitely like, I don't know. I don't know if I kind of had an idea of what they were tracking you with. I know that they can track everything, but I mean, like, if I knew kind of what they were tracking you on, say, like, if they were using that data for something, if it was being supplied to somebody, if I knew that whatever I typed into Google was then going to become an ad to me, or I was going to start getting stuff for it, I would pay the extra $30, or I would just switch to a different internet provider. That's crazy to think that you're going to have to pay $100 a month just for privacy. AT&T, get your shit together. I don't really think that's ethical, personally. Having to pay for your own privacy and something that you already are paying for. And especially on internet. Internet is the dumbest thing. Internet is like a 98% markup. Like, all internet is, like I've explained it before, it's literally a hose. That's all it is. If this is the hose, a little battery, if this is the hose, as an internet provider, when you pay more money, all they do is open that hole up. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So you're going to get more water through it, more internet. You pay less, they shrink it down. It's the dumbest thing. Internet is the dumbest thing. That's why I love what Google's doing. They're like, hey, you know what? You pay us $70 a month, whatever it is, we're going to give you a gig internet speed. That's ridiculous. In Canada, like, we pay, like, top dollar, like, $80 for, like, 25, 50 up, 50 down, and, like, 5 up. So to have speeds like that, like, I wish we could have it. I think that's crazy, personally, like, having to pay that much for internet. Not that much for internet, but having to pay that much for internet that's not even private. That's kind of a shady thing to do. So we're going to jump into the second one. Samsung answers Apple Pay with Lupe acquisition. This is Lupe right here, in case you guys were wondering. Lupe is the most accepted mobile wallet on the planet. We're going to... can we watch this quick? I don't want to get copyrighted.
I'm Will Grayland, CEO of Lupe.
I'm here to tell you why Lupe has been voted the best mobile wallet solution in the US.
We've created a safe and simple way for you to get everything from your wallet right onto your phone. With Lupe, all your cards are securely stored and organized on your phone. Your credit cards, your gift cards, your reward cards, your ID, everything.
So yeah, this is what I thought it was. So Lupe, what it is a form of Apple Pay, however you want to do it. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but it's a form of Apple Pay or whatever you kind of want to call it. Google Wallet. It stores all your cards, and I believe it's just a case on the back of your phone for right now. It's like a little fob, yeah, this little thing. So all you do is you tap it. I think you can keep your cards in it. I wouldn't want that, but add cards to your phone. That's it. You're good to go. Leave your wallet at home. So Loop Pay, I wish, like, I don't think this is available here, like in Canada yet. But all you do is you literally just tap your phone. You're done. I believe it actually, where you normally swipe, yeah, and you pay instantly, which is really cool. Like, this is, I've always wanted something like this. I think this is really neat. So it's cool that Samsung's actually purchased Lupe. Lupe was actually a big Kickstarter program. Kickstarter is actually a really cool thing if you guys have never checked it out. It's a place similar to Indiegogo, if you've heard of that. What it is it's kind of like a platform where people can come with ideas and stuff or products that are in the early stages, and you can buy them. You pre-order them, and you help the developer get that extra boost that they need to get supplies made and stuff like that, and then they give you a product. A lot of the times you'll pay cheaper than what you would on retail, and sometimes there's a lot of like developer or like Kickstarter only like items that you can get. So like this candle, for instance, this candle would be like $99.99 or $10 regularly, but when you bought it on Kickstarter, it would be $7, and you would get a specific Kickstarter only bundle. So it's kind of cool. I'm happy that Samsung's jumping in the payables game, kind of really pushing it forward. I hate when monopolies happen, when you have Apple that's the only person to do it, or Google Wallet the only person to do that. So this is nice. Hopefully, like, I'm pretty sure you can use this all across the world, which is kind of cool because none of that's just available in Canada for right now. So it's nice that Lupe has been purchased by 10 million merchants, or 90% retail locations nationwide. So it seems like it's only really done in the States, but it's gonna end up leaking out into to Canada and the world. I know it's probably for sure in China and Korea, like higher technology markets. But continuing with America, Sprint has introduced this new cell phone plan. This isn't big news. This isn't real technology news, but I thought this was kind of interesting. Sprint has now launched a thing against T-Mobile. They've always been really against each other. Switch your phone to Sprint and get 12 gigs to share, unlimited talks and text, and it's only $90 a month for 10 phones. Yeah, you heard that. That's not even $10 a phone. That's ridiculous. Like, how do the states do this? Like in Canada, like you pay $70 for like 3-4 gigs of data. That's it. And that's one phone line. There is no family phone lines. Like, this is crazy. Like, this seems like the world's best value. 12 gigs to share, that's the only downfall. You only get 12 gigs for 10 phones. That's a gig and a quarter a person if you do 10 phones. But that's crazy. Like, that you can share, like, that's phones for your whole family and like everybody. So Sprint released a comparison chart to show how it fares better than competitors. T-Mobile charges the family $100 for 10 gigs of data, but it limits the user to 4. It also has a restriction of 2.5 gigs per user. So you can only have 4 phones, 2 gigs and a half per user, and it's set to expire sometime in 2015. AT&T and Verizon provided 10 gig of shared data among family for a steep $160 a month for only 4 users again. Like, this is the best deal ever. I'm assuming you could probably throw in tablets and stuff like that. Like, if I was in the market for a phone right now, I would be calling up Sprint right now. Hey, get me on this line. Let's go. Because even $90 a month for 12 gigs, And if you could like share that with a tablet and a phone, that's so cool. I love that. Sprint, kudos. That's a great plan. That's a badass plan. Like, that's crazy. Like I said, not really technology wise, that's just very consumer based. It's very good for consumers. Like, you're gonna have like T-Mobile now responding, oh god, we can't have that. We're gonna have to, here we go. We're gonna have to hook you up. So it's crazy. It also says Sprint will buy out family contracts from other network carriers if a customer ports to Sprint and opts for the 12 gig Sprint family share plan. It'll pay you $350 per line. Per line! That's ridiculous. Like, how can... I don't get this. I'm not... Like, we don't... In Canada, we don't have this fighting between carriers like that. You choose a character, you choose a carrier, that's it. They're not like, oh, come over to us, we'll hook you up, we'll pay for your line, they're willing to pay you $350 a line to get out. It'll be paid back in American Express cards, so looks like you have to pay it up front, but that's crazy. Like, that's absolutely crazy. They'll pay you up to $3,000, $3,500, because if you get 10 plans, that's $3,500 they'll give you in cards to buy out your plans. That's crazy, and just to come over and save a crap load of money, probably. Anyways, we're gonna jump. I can't believe that. That's absolutely unbelievable to me that the companies do that. Like, that you can do that. All right, so Apple, jumping on some Apple notifications. Apple has started accepting applications for its ISO 8.3 beta. The first time they will ever do a public beta test, which is kind of cool for an iOS product, because Apple's finally realizing, hey, you know what? We're going to get free testers. Hey, we're not going to have to pay people to do this. They want to do this. So 8.3 is coming out. My guess it's probably going to come out in the summer. It says it's coming out rock iPhone users in March. Okay. So they're accepting 100,000 applications to do the beta. I'm assuming you just go on Apple and apply for it. That's kind of cool, though. Nothing really to talk about on it. I just think it's really cool that you're able to finally have a beta for an Apple product. I mean, they're gonna finally do something with it. That's pretty neat. I find that kind of cool. So good on Apple. They're finally stepping in and saying, hey, you know what? People really love our products. We're the most profitable company in the world. Yeah, it's kind of cool that they're finally stepping into the technology game, realizing people want to get that. It's like an exclusive thing that you like. You're like, oh yeah, I have that. You don't have that. I have the new OS. You don't have it. Oh, no. I personally tested it. Trust me. Gamers do it. Like public betas. You're like, oh, whoa. Hey, I got on the beta. Did you get on the beta? Have you played the game before it came out? Oh no, sorry. Well, how about you get my experience from it? This is what happened when I played it. It's kind of a funny thing, but it's just one of those things that it's just one of those things that happens. You get that gloating, and it's kind of fun. Not gonna lie. But Machinima, one of the biggest YouTube partners, or sought after partners for video gaming. They also have a giant YouTube channel. They have Machinima apps. They have like everything. Machinima is a huge video game company. They're not finally, but they're getting more money from investors to really expand their company, and really step out to different platforms and different creators, and probably pay people to do different things. So it's crazy. Like, they have 430 million subscribers on their YouTube channel. Oh no, sorry, 430 million subscribers throughout the world. So that's through YouTube, through their apps, like 430 million subscribers. That's a lot of people. They get 3.7 billion views per month. Billion views per month. That's ridiculous on all their platforms. So Warner Brothers has finally stepped in and said, hey, we're realizing what you're doing. We're seeing that there's an interest in it, that there's some money to be made here. Here's a big fat ass stack of cash. Here's $24 million or whatever, probably $20 million. We're going to invest in you. We want to see where you're going. That's cool for Machinima. I'm glad. I'm happy that YouTube and stuff like that is becoming a very viable career. People are really realizing what it is and what it kind of takes to become a YouTuber and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it works out okay and Machinima continues to grow, because it is a powerhouse in the partnering and stuff like that. It's one of those things people want. They want to get. So we'll jump to the next one. Pebble Time is the new color of Pebble smartwatch. Pebble watches I actually really enjoy. I find Pebble to be very cool. They're very simplistic, so if you are not very smart or tech savvy, the Pebble is a perfect idea for you. You pretty much just install the app on your phone like you do on most smartwatches, and it's there. Pebble has always been black and white. There have been like black and white screens, and they're finally jumping on to do a colored screen. It's probably going to be a little bit faster than previous generations. It looks a little bit better. It looks more almost square than rectangular. It's still a rectangle, but it looks like you have a little bit more real estate on it. Pebbles are not touchscreen. But it looks like they're going to be coming in a bunch of different colors, which is kind of nice. I really enjoyed my Pebble when I had it. It was very quick. They're launching this on Kickstarter again. That's how they originally started their Pebble. So it's kind of cool that they're starting this out, and you'll be able to kind of try it out, which is really nice. Like I said, the Pebble, once it comes out, it'll be kind of cool. It's not going to compete with the Moto 360 and like the Samsung Gear or the Apple iWatch. That I don't think they want to. It's a different thing. It is a smartwatch, but you can't answer calls on it. You can't. They know that. They're not trying to do that. They know what their market is. They know what they want to do. That you can see you want a long battery life that you don't really have to charge. The thing is waterproof. You also, what else can you do on it? You can see your text, see your email, stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully they change a little bit of things. I haven't seen too much on it, but yeah, like I said, not high quality. It's not gonna be some super high def Pebble watch or something. That's not who Pebble is. So it's kind of cool that Pebble is finally coming into it, getting some color in their screen, because that was always one of the biggest things that bugged me about that phone, that watch, was just no color. But that's just its and buts. So the Chromebook is finally coming out. There's a new Chromebook. It looks very similar actually to an iMac, or yeah, it looks very much like an iMac. So Google, in case you don't know, they do have a laptop brand. They're called Chrome. They also run Chrome OS. Chrome OS is different from Windows OS or Mac OS. It's a very simplistic operating system. You can't play games, like you can't run, like, I don't think you can run WoW on it or something like that, like a widely sought after game. But you can browse YouTube. Battery lives are ridiculous on them. They're quite fast because they don't have anything on them. You can't really install too much on them. And that's probably going to change over a little bit, but they're generally really cheap. Chromebooks generally go for $200, $300, maybe $400 on the high end, with a bigger battery. So their Chromebook Pixel, which has a super high density pixel display, so it's like a MacBook Retina or an Ultra HD. It's an Ultra HD screen. That's what it's going to end up being. These are priced at like $1,300, so almost 3 to 4 times the amount that you would pay for a normal Chromebook. So that's kind of crazy. Again, I don't know too much about Chrome OS. They are saying that they might be using a reversible port, which is USB Type-C, I believe, or Type 3. Something. I can't remember what it is, but USB also came out with a new USB. Not USB, it's not a company. USB, there is now there's USB like 2.0, 3.0, and there's, I believe it's USB B, if I'm right. And what that is, or C, and it's now a reversible, so you know when you go in on your USB and it's the wrong way, you can now just, they're both always going to be the right way. It's much faster. It's speeds of like, I think 50 megabytes per second or 100 megabytes per second. It's something really good. I know that it's not super crazy, but I know it's better than what it was, which is kind of cool. That'd mean you'd be able to transfer stuff faster. You're not gonna have to worry about how the port goes in on your phone. You just plug it in. So that's cool. It's nice to have for that. But so hopefully Google comes up with that. Now, jumping into something that's really interesting technology-wise and gamer-wise, Steam VR, Valve hops into the VR bandwagon. I actually got this update this morning. If you go into your Steam, I don't know if I can... If you go into your Steam, it's in there. It was something that was downloaded to your Steam computer or whatever you use Steam on, and it installed almost like a background type thing into it. And what it did was, you're now going to be able to run, if you have an Oculus Rift, you're going to be able to run all these different things in VR, which is virtual reality. So it's kind of cool. They showed a video here of kind of how it works. So this is it loading up on Steam within, I believe this is the Oculus Rift, yeah. So VR is kind of cool. You can kind of look around however you want to, however you move your head around, it goes. So it's kind of interesting to see exactly how it's going to end up working, but hopefully it's not too crazy. With VR getting so much cheaper now that you're able to purchase it at a consumer level, more or less. Now you have the Oculus Rift, which is coming out as not really a dev kit anymore, but you can get it. They're not really full consumer grade yet, but you can get them. They're relatively easy to get your hands on, just a little bit kind of expensive. I think they're about $1,000, give or take a couple hundred, which is kind of cool. There's also Samsung has one, Samsung VR, which you just plug your phone into. Like, you just literally put your phone in there and that's your screen. So those are a lot cheaper. I think those are about $300. But that gives you the capabilities to do all that stuff. Steam is also developing one, I believe, with Oculus Rift, if I remember correctly. They're calling it the Steam VR. So we'll see how that goes. That'll be kind of cool once that comes out. They're realizing that, like, hey, this is a viable way to play games. And it's cool. Like, if you've ever, like, I've never experienced it, but I've always I want to buy one really bad, like really bad, because those would be creepy as hell to put like a horror game on or something, and you'd be like, oh, like you see PewDiePie all the time playing them. So it's kind of cool that Steam is now really recognizing, hey, VR is a way to go. This is how it's gonna go. So we'll see how that goes. Detroit is finally getting some super fast Rocket fiber internet server. Rocket is a new ISP owned by Dan Gilbert, who also owns Quicken Loans. That's what it is. So he also owns Quicken Loans. So that'd be kind of cool to see exactly how that works. It'd be really interesting to see how that kind of comes about with him doing that. They're expecting to have at least Google Fiber speeds. It'll be on par, if not faster. I tried to click on their website. I couldn't find anything. I went to their Twitter. They don't have, like, they don't even have a website, which is kind of weird. Like, they only have 583 followers for an ISP. This is a new ISP, I believe, but they literally only have, they started on the 21st of February. So this ISP's been around for 4 days. It's crazy. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. There's a possibility of it being good, but I don't know. Would you take the risk on going with an ISP that's brand new and that's offering you speeds like that? We'll see how much they're going to cost. But I've always thought that was kind of a cool thing. Why not own an ISP? Like I said, the ratings are so high, you can earn so much on it that it only makes sense if you could own an ISP to do it. So we'll finish it off with the last one today. NVIDIA slapped with lawsuit over GTX 970 performance and specifications. In case you don't know what the whole 970 debacle is the 970, which is a brand new Maxwell card that came out 3-4 months ago, if that, from NVIDIA. It was supposed to be 4 gigs when it came out. 4 gigs is the virtual memory that it runs on. It's able to run 4 gigs of... Don't worry. But it's supposed to have 4 gigs. NVIDIA said, yeah, it's got 4 gigs. It's good to go. This is the specs on it. That's what it is. Trust us. And then people were starting to get issues with it. They would have a game that they're running on multiple monitors that needs those 4 gigs, and doesn't work anymore. It's getting really laggy all of a sudden once it starts boosting up, once you boost up the settings. It's really weird, and they ended up coming out and saying, oh, it is 4 gigs, but it's 3.5 gigs and then segmented by another 0.5 gigs, which is really weird, especially for a company like NVIDIA, being so reputable in how they've always been. It ends up having like a slower process than what it was. So it's not able to process stuff as fast. The cache isn't as quick, so you're not able to go from here to here to here as quick as it's said, which is kind of weird. So people are starting to get a little bit frustrated with this. They're saying this is unacceptable. We need you guys to go into a lawsuit. We're going to sue you guys because this is blah, 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 blah. So it's being filed by a single gentleman, a Michigan resident, Andrew Ostrowski against NVIDIA and Gigabyte for engaging in a scheme to misleading consumers nationwide or customers nationwide about the characteristics, qualities, and benefits of the GTX 970. The GTX 970 and the GTX 780 came out at the same time. 780, they're both extremely performance based, better than what's been in the past. Like I believe the 970 is better than the 780, which was the highest end graphics card for the longest time, which is crazy. But they run on like 25% less power than before, which is really cool. So we'll see how it goes and what goes on with it. It'll be interesting to see exactly what NVIDIA kind of does with this, if they kind of go back on it, if they give you something for it. It is a false advertising. I do own a 970, but I'm not having a problem with it, but it has made me very wary. I'm like, oh god, what's wrong with my card? Because I'm like, what do I do? Most manufacturers or most stores you buy from, like the one I go to, 7 days, that's all you got. I bought mine a month, 2.5 months ago. So I'm like, or like a month ago, 2 months ago. So I'm like, oh god, what do we do? But what is NVIDIA gonna do? What are they gonna offer you? Like, it almost seems like this is just a way to get money from this guy. So we'll see. It won't be much. Like my guess is it's probably like, hey, we're gonna give you a game or something like that, or we're gonna give you some form of coupon code. So we'll see how that kind of plays out with NVIDIA, but it'll be kind of interesting. That's cool. DirectX doesn't disappoint in early tests. DirectX is, we talked about that in the first episode. That'll be kind of cool once that kind of gets up. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys thought of the podcast this week. It was a lot of fun to do, or webcast, whatever you want to call it. Podcast, webcast, techcast, whatever you want. Thank you guys for tuning into the W Show. Hopefully we have a guest next week. It's kind of tough to group up with some people and do it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. As always, guys, leave a like, hit that comment button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let us know if you thought of it in the comment section down below. We always greatly appreciate your comments and concerns, or if you have any ideas for future episodes. But that's all for today, guys. This has been your friendly neighbor DGB Tim as the host. That's all for today. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. So like I said, hope to see you guys back tomorrow. Bye now!